Good morning, Rabotai. Welcome to breakfast in the class. Today's super deluxe breakfast is donated by Michael Silverman in honor of Rabbi Aluf Chazak Baruch. We also want to give a shout out to Gloria Betesh. Happy birthday! This is a very special time for you, and I'm sure you're going to make your parents very, very proud. Okay, let's begin. We have a fascinating story over here. Story of Korach, the story of Machloket. I always hear my father say on Parashat Korach that every year without fail, during the Parasha of Korach, we experience Machloket. Every year. Why? What's the reason? How come that is? I think generally because there's always Machloket. So it's Parashat Korach, Parashat Shelach, Parashat Ba'alotecha, Parashat Bereshit. There's always in fact, one of the rabbis said, Parashat Zu Yafeh Nidreshet. What does it mean? It's well explained. Yafeh Nidreshet means many derashot were given about Machloket because it's always a very relevant topic. Okay, my friends, I want to ask you one simple question. What more could Korach have asked of Moshe Rabbeinu? You know, you're in this Machloket. Here comes the guy, literally on his hands and knees. He's coming to you, the greatest of the great. What more could Korach have wanted? Why did Korach not, in that moment, how come that wasn't enough for him? And of course, all the lessons we're learning from Korach are really applicable to every person in their day-to-day life. So in other words, when there's Machloket, why is it that when one side seems to be giving everything in order to be able to make shalom, the other side is still not willing? They're not happy. They won't do it. They won't come to Shabbat. They won't go to the wedding. They won't do this. They won't make up. What is it? What's the reason? Now I want to share one idea that's brought down by Chazak. Our rabbis teach us a very important principle. And the principle goes like this. En mefaisin le'adam. Nobody? En mefaisin le'adam. B'shat ka'aso. Excellent. You do not appease somebody in his time of anger. One more time. You do not appease someone in his time of anger. We have this idea, by the way, in multiple different locations. Where else do we have this idea? Also with regards to somebody who's sitting Shiva Bar Minan. If a guy is sitting Shiva, the Chazal tell us that the first 3 days, you don't talk to him about anything, you know? We don't try and bring him nechama, because he's in the throes of anguish, of pain, of sadness, sometimes even of anger. My friends, what are we learning over here? What we're learning over here is that oftentimes it's not as important what you're saying as when you are saying it. And if you did not give the person the requisite amount of time to cool off, nothing you're going to say is going to be good enough. I'll share with you one more idea. Gemara says, Kol hakoes, anyone who gets angry, that's a very good one. I'm going to quote another Gemara. It's as if he was Obed Avodah Zarah. Excellent, Aslan. A person who gets angry, it's like he worshipped idols. And the question is, where in the world is there a connection between the fact that I lost my temper and the fact that I'm worshiping idols? That's as if I'm bowing down in front of a statue. What does that mean? The Gemara brings a derasha. Lo tishtach habe le'elzar. You can't bow to a foreign god. The Chachamim explain that what is the nature of Avodah Zarah? It's allowing something other than HaKadosh Baruch Hu to rule over you, to be your God. My friends, when a person is angry, it is not Borei Olam that's making the decisions. It's not even him that's making the decisions. The one that is holding the steering wheel in the moment of anger, in the moment of anger, who's holding the steering wheel? His anger. Right now, his God is the God of anger. My friends, so why didn't Moshe Rabbeinu wait? How come Moshe Rabbeinu didn't wait until Korach cooled off a little bit? In fact, Hazit, the guy's name is Ice. Right? Yeah, you guys, Vanilla Ice, the first one. Okay, so why did he wait till he cooled down a little bit? And the answer is that Moshe Rabbeinu, in this story, he didn't have the luxury The whole story went down in this 24-hour period. It's something that takes place very quickly. So there isn't time. But at the very least, we could see from the fact that everything failed, that everything was destroyed, that everything got ruined for Korach, because the timing could not be given. We at least could learn to us, where we do have the time, to be able to know, you know something, I want to say something right now, but saying something right now is not going to help. And I often encourage people to think, before they speak, what is the purpose? What am I trying to achieve right now with what I'm going to say? Are you trying to make yourself feel better so you could blow off some steam? A lot of times that's what people are doing. They just want to say. Oftentimes it really helps if you say something mean. It really helps if you put the person down. That's what's going to help right now. Right? That's what people think to themselves in the moment of anger. The person gets them angry. What do? They tell them, who are you, Bichlal? You're a nobody. You're coming over here. Go do something. Go learn something. Go be something. First make your first dollar by yourself, and then you can talk to me. People say the meanest things. What are they doing? They feel better. Again, it's false, but they feel better when they put somebody else down. Ultimately, though, that's only encouraged and enraged the person even more. So if a person wants to diffuse anger and machloket, what do? There's a beautiful story of a rabbi who was approached, and the rabbi tells him, I see you're very nervous, you're very anxious, you're very upset. What's the matter? The guy says, Rabbi, I don't know, I think my marriage is over. He says, really? Your marriage is over? Why? Rabbi, we can't stop fighting. We can never have a day of shalom bayit in our lives. I don't know what to do. The rabbi says, listen, I have upstairs some very special water, holy water of shalom bayit. This guy thinks, oh my gosh, what does he have? The water from the sorta. Rabbi's going to get rid of his wife. Okay, at least there'll be shalom in the bayit, right? Even if there's one less person in it. Is that what it is? No. Rabbi comes down, he says, it's a bottle over here. He says, put it in the bag. Don't take it out of the bag until the time comes when you're having your machloket. And then you'll see the instructions on the bottom. Don't look, don't use it until the guy puts it in the bottom of his closet in the back. There's shalom bayit water. Sure enough, how long does it take until he's fighting with his wife about the credit card, about this? By the way, I just want to share with you, the Pele Yoetz wrote, how long ago did Pele Yoetz write his book?
1800s.
Right? We're talking about 250 years ago. Okay. Huh? 200 years ago.
1850.
How long? 160. That doesn't change the point. In it, you know what he says? 160 years ago, Rabbi Aluf says, 160 years. You know what he says? He says the source of machloket between husbands and wives is because the husbands are checking the bills. Mashe haya haya. The same thing as now. You know what they say? Everything is saying. Now, what's the problem? I think everyone will agree. It used to be you check the bills. But how often did you check the bills? Once a month when they came in the mail. Now, as soon as she spends the money, ping your phone. Baruch Hashem, now we have opportunity for fighting every day. My friends, important. So what is a person supposed to do? What do? The guy gets upset, fighting over the bills. He remembers that what does he have in the closet? The shalom bayit water. Maim hayim el keli. He runs upstairs. He grabs the bag. He opens the bag. He takes out the bottle. He looks and it says on the bottle, open bottle slowly. Opens the bottle slowly. Second instruction says, fill mouth with water. 2, fills the mouth with water. Instruction 3, keep it there until you're not angry. Shalom bayit Wariani. Do you understand? A lot of times, the only thing that's necessary is to get out of the point of en mefaisin le'adam b'shat kaso. Don't try to fix it. Don't try to do anything. All you need to do is wait. Once you've waited The thing that you said before that didn't work, now it's going to work. Some guy tells me, Rabbi, I don't know what to do. I'm always fighting with my son. Anything I tell him, if I apologize, he doesn't take it. I said, I don't know what to do. He said, I said everything. I said, it's true. You said everything, but you said everything in the wrong time. Could you wait till tomorrow? Could you wait? My friends, this idea of timing in relationships is crucial. And it was the one luxury that Moshe Rabbeinu did not have with Korach, because the whole story is in 24 hours. So you see how far Moshe Rabbeinu goes, to the point where he's going to these Rishaim. He's on his hands and knees begging them, Rav lachem b'nei Levi, dachilak, don't do this, I beg of you. But you see, even the greatest rabbi, with the greatest humiliation, doing the most that he could, in the time of Kas doesn't work. Let me share one more piece, because I think that this piece is also a very important piece of advice with regards to Kas and Machloket. From Avraham Avinu we learn a very important lesson. He sees that he's fighting with Lot. And he says a very important line. He says, Al na tehi meriva, right? Veni ubenak yani. It's almost the same letters in Hebrew as is in Arabic. Let there not be a fight between me and you. And he gives a reason why there shouldn't be a fight. Anyone remember what's the rest of that pasuk? We have great Talmidei Chachamim here. Ki anashim ahim anachnu. Because we are men who are brothers. What is the pasuk telling us over here? That even if there's machloket in Am Yisrael all the time, unfortunately, and we got to get better at that. Machloket between brothers is unacceptable in the eyes of the Torah. Even if the machloket is a genuine machloket, even if it's a machloket in halacha. What was the machloket between the shepherds of Lot and the shepherds of Abraham? Big machloket, by the way. What was the machloket? Also about timing. The pasuk says, "V'akenanim az ba'aretz." Right? They were there. What is the machloket? Why is that relevant? Rashi explains over there, according to Gemara, the shepherds of Lot said, our animals don't need to be muzzled. They could eat anything. Anyway, you know why? This land is going to be my land. Why? Because it was promised to Avraham Avinu. Avraham Avinu says, it's true, it's going to be our land. But right now, who's Az Ba'aretz? The Canaanim. Now it's not time yet. It doesn't belong to us yet. That machloket is a big machloket in halakha. I can imagine the rabbis going back and forth. What's it called? Big sugyot. Davar shelo ba leolam. Perot ha'ilan. Beautiful sugyot over there. About, how do you relate to the grass? Beautiful. We could have had a whole machloket, a whole shiur in the Gemara, in the Bet Midrash. But it doesn't matter what the machloket is. If it's family, you have to put the machloket to bed. And I want to share something even more important. Look what Avraham Avinu does in order to not have a family fight. Hiparedna me'alai. If you have brothers that are in a business together and they're fighting all the time, maybe shalom means that they break up the business. Why? They're not working together, true. But working together is a fake form. It's a public facing, looking like form of shalom. But maybe the fact that they're actually in the office together, where everyone else thinks, wow, so nice. You work with your brother? Amazing, I can never do that. You know what? I don't work with my brother, I fight with my brother. We spend a small amount of time working. If that's the case, hiparedna me'alai. Why? Because we are brothers. Ki anashim him anachnu. And I want to throw some more salt into the pot. Avraham and Lot weren't even brothers. This is his nephew. You see how wide Avraham Avinu's perspective of the impossibility of allowing for a fight to exist in family is. No matter what you need to give up, Avraham is willing to pick up everything. He has a lot. Avraham Avinu has a lot. There's some big moving trucks in the city called Piece of Cake Moving. You ever see that? Yeah, pink trucks, piece of cake moving. They want to say, Yani, to move is a piece of cake. I don't know how many pieces of cake it would have been Lushi Va'asi Ugot for Abraham Avinu to move. With all the animals and all the things. He has to move his yeshiva, his kiruv center. He's got to uproot his whole eshel. He's got to move everything. Abraham Avinu says, I'll do whatever it takes. So there shouldn't be a fight in family. So Abraham teaches us one of the most important lessons. Do you know what he says? In trying to make peace, he goes to Lot and he doesn't tell him something, he doesn't give him an offer. He says, I don't want to fight. You know what peace, you know what part I want? It's not you take the cosmetics, I take the perfume. It's not you take the real estate, I'll take the high tech. It's not you take, Abraham says, you take whatever you want. You go right, I'll go left. You go left, I'll go right. You choose. In such a scenario, that could have been a tremendous loss for Abraham Avinu. But I need to stress this 1,000 times. You never see the level of a person's emunah until you see them in a machloket. Because you know what? Does God need the real estate market to give you parnasah? He doesn't. God can give you whatever. He can make you own a piece. All you got in the settlement was a big pile of garbage. The guy duped you. He gave you a little piece of land in Staten Island. You get there with the address on the GPS. He gave you the big pile of garbage that smells when you drive. Remember that the piece or everything? That's what you got. You get there, you're so upset, and you got fresh kills. You didn't know fresh kills. You didn't know what it meant. You thought you were getting a butcher. You didn't realize. You get there. Turns out, what do you find right at the top of the pile of garbage? You find the old computer. Turns out, on that computer is, remember that guy who threw his computer in the garbage with the Bitcoin? Right? It was worth $1.8 billion. There you go. See, he knows what I'm talking about. My friends, does God need you to give him ways to give you money? Abraham Avinu has no problem telling the guy, you choose wherever you want to go. You know why? Abraham knows, when I do what Hashem wants, I love that line. I always love that line. It's not, I will bless you. It's not, I'm going to give you a beracha. That's later. V'avaracha means you will be. You are bracha. What do we know about shalom? En kili machazik bracha ela hashalom. There's no vessel that holds bracha. None in the world like shalom. Abraham says, V'heye bracha. If I go left, where's the bracha going to be? Left. If I go right, where's it going to be? Right. You take wherever you want. What's the irony? Lot chooses the choicest piece of real estate. It's the most lush. It's the most fertile, right? Boacha, soar. It's unbelievable. Everything grows. Wow. The guy got the fertile crescent. He got the most unbelievable agriculture. 5 minutes later, what does Lot's piece of land look like? The Yam HaMelach. You understand? The exact opposite of what he chose. You get that? He chose a place that has the most unbelievable moisture. What grows in Yam HaMelach? Nothing. Ahava, the plant that gives you mud. I have something very special for your hand. The guy who meets you in the mall from Israel. You understand? Only up to God. Yeah, if you walked away in machloket with one piece, you're guaranteed bracha. Not this piece of the business, not that piece. Not who got the house, who got to get the house. Not who stays by the mother for the summer, none of that. You know what the piece you want to walk away from machloket with is that will guarantee to be blessed? The piece called shalom. Hashem should bless us be'ezat Hashem. To always seek shalom. To wait to say the things that we want to say until the time that the person will be mekabel. Because and a person can only do that if his true intention is to bring peace and not just to make himself feel better by saying whatever he wants to say. And if that happens, Oseh shalom bimromav, u'yaseh shalom aleinu. Chazak u'baruch. Rabbi Hanina ben Akasham,